All right, good morning, good afternoon, guys. Welcome, everyone. Let's get right to the charts. A lot of action is happening right now with a few pairs here. It's a GJ and USD CAD. Let's take a look. We had this clean range earlier on GJ. So we had the 1 and 1, 2 and 2, and then the 3 and 3. So perfect completion here. We do have price right around the 1 hour EMA here. So we are looking to see, will it jump back into the range? There is a 2 hour EMA below it. Nearly tapped that right at the 2 a.m. opening. All right, so the current candle, so it's just 3 pips away. Could come back and tap that. And fall right back into the range. We could look for some possible entries if it does, see back right into this end. But again, if it has broken out of this range, again on the lower time frames, but on the higher time frames, you can see on the 2 hour, it could jump right back into this range. It's not a large range here, just under 30 pips. So we could see some movement there, potentially. So we'll wait on for that. As the hour has just opened up, and if it does push down, it's looking to tap at least the 2 hour EMA here, which is just a few pips away from the wick here that just opened up this hour. So let's see how that develops here. We did have this clean range which completed. Again, on the lower time frames there's a breakout, but on the higher time frame we have to still wait and see how GJ closes this current hour, right? So even on the 1 hour it did close below, but the 2 hour candle is still active here, and we'll see if it jumps right back into the range. It may do that after the tap here, right? So we do have to wait out and see how this hour right before London opening closes out. So we may be able to get an entry at that point, right? So let's wait and see. It is in this small zone right here. It's just under 10 pips here. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at some of the fundamental events today. We do have CAD news coming up in about 8 hours. That's the rate statement, overnight rate, and the PMI. We do have medium impact for GDP. Again, that's in about 7 hours plus. So that's after the New York opening. So we'll wait and see how that develops. Of course, we're trying to aim again for each live stream to take a trade during the live stream, right? And keeping the positions small, not only in terms of lot size, but also in terms of the amount of pips here, right? So currently just waiting to see how this GJ trade develops here. And again, just in this small zone here. I think I forgot to put the timer here. Let's reset that. Alrighty, okay. Okay, so G is still settling in a small zone here. Again, there is a 2-hour EMA below, so just looking at seeing if GJ does dump down here, this small range here, which would be non-tradable. Alrighty, let's see if there's a push here from GJ. Again, this current 2-hour candle, if it does end up closing out over here, I'm looking to take buys. Let's see here. Alrighty, let's go on the smaller time frame here. So we do see a push up here. So again, I will be looking to take buys at this stage here. So let me put up a buy stop here. Let's go right here. Sorry. So it's going to be right around here. So this is a 30 pip range. We could look to secure at least 25. So 25 and 25. Right, so again, this trade is not active yet, but we will be looking to secure a 1-to-1 here. And it'll be right around this. Let me add the text here. So GJ buys at would that be 185? Let's just take a look. 185 to 260. $185 to 60. Right there. Right, so this trade is not active yet. We're looking for GJ to slip right back into the range. Again, this would be the 2-hour candle that would see back in. The 1-hour and smaller time frames did close out below this current range, right? But it's it will indicate to us again if the 2-hour does close below that we won't be looking for the GJ buys anymore, right? So let's settle in here and see what we can see. Again, it will be 25 pips to 25 pips, so 1-to-1, and it will be ideal here. And you can see here that there's a non-wick candle right here, right around our profit target. Right here. So buy stops will activate when price reaches 185 to 60. Looking to target 25 pips. But again, if this current 2-hour candle does not fall back into the range, this trade will not be, the buy stop. I will remove the buy stops at that point. So see how that plays out. Again, there is London opening approaching, which would close out the 2-hour candle. And there is an EMA again at this level. So I'm going to put it right here as well. right around this level right here. Right here. So it gives a good indication if this current 2-hour candle does tap this EMA and fall right back in here. And our target is right around the non-wick candle at 185 500 zone here. So this trade is not currently active. We're waiting to see how this 2-hour candle closes, and then see how we play this out. So around 50 minutes or so left for London opening, which will close out the 2-hour candle, and we will see how the current candle closes to see how, if it hasn't reached our entry point, we may remove the buy stops. Okay, and USD CAD. So we had this earlier range on USD CAD. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, and 3. And then you could see that it just kind of swiveled off here a bit, and it's not really consistent of a range right now for USD CAD. Right, we do have some fundamental events coming after New York opening. Sorry, so we'll take a look at that. But there is on the higher end a potential range here, but that's something that's still in development. You can see on the higher time frame, so we even went to the daily now. Again, this is a much larger time frame. So this move, of course, it will take more time, but certainly very possible. All right, and so we'll keep this in mind as well. And yes, the entry point would be once this closes out as well, to see if this was merely a wick, right? So this would be in the long run now, right? Again, it could complete this week, or it could even complete next week, depending on how fast we see this move coming down, right? But again, we're not looking to trade these large moves during the live streams. It's just giving you an idea of top-down analysis, that even if on the lower time frames we have maybe possibly a breakout, on the larger time frame is still in somewhat of a range, right? As we can see on the daily here, right? Alrighty. So GJ is still moving down towards the EMA here. So we're going to have to wait out here a bit to see. But this, again, was a clean range, tradable range here in the hours, 2 to 3 hours prior to London opening and the stream. So we could look to take the setup if it does come back. But for the time being, it may just push down even past the EMA here. So on the 2-hour, you can see it could push down past that, or it may come right back in. So the current candle, right, which would open up the London opening hour. So just have to be patient here. Right there, 260, and there's 25 to 25 pips. Right there. Alrighty, so still GJ is still moving in the small range. So we're going to have to see GJ out of this zone sooner than later for us to make sure that our GJ buy stops are safe, right? Because we don't want, again, it to tap maybe this EMA and come back down within this hour. I would like to see GJ maybe tap the 2-hour EMA and then come back up before the hour closes, and London session maybe pushes this right up, this existing range, right? Again, it doesn't mean that the price doesn't come up here and maybe completes the trade prior to London opening, but the way it's ranging right now, we end with the EMA below and a current 2-hour candle still active, we could see it push down before it coming back up, right? So both scenarios are possible here. For USD CAD, we've seen this current candle on the 30-minute. Yeah, we did see a 50-minute EMA tap here. 30-minute has, actually it does have a wick here. But there is a 50-minute EMA tap here. So we could see it push back right back down. There is the hour EMA, right? So it did again tap to the 30-minute EMA as well. There is the hour EMA below, so it could nearly come down before this hour closes. And you know the rest of the EMAs are below it as well, the larger time frames. So again, gotta be patient with USD CAD as well. This current area of consolidation is just what, 13, 14 pips, and GJ, I think around 10, 11 pips. Yeah. So we're just going to have to wait on this setup here. So the 15-minute, yep, there's a lot of wicking below the price. 30-minute again as well. And GJ did tap the 1 hour here. But this trade again is not active as of yet. So let's continue to be patient here, guys. Again, maybe in the last half hour before London opening, we could see maybe a little bit more of a volume pickup for us to see a move complete either way. Yeah, nothing major for the fundamental events today other than after New York opening. Right, so we have GEP, medium impact, and then we have red folder news for CAD. So London session should be smooth sailing, but not getting much of a volume pickup to see if we can get a setup ready for GJ. We do have buy stops, that are not active or they not activate yet, as GJ is below this current range, which again was clean, very tradable range, but it was in the wee hours prior to London opening. Okay, we did get a 5-minute close here, but again, right back in this range. We have 5 minutes till the last 30 minutes to London opening and the 2-hour candle closure. So we could see some heavy movement in terms of volume in the last half hour. So let's just be patient here and see how the current 5-minute candle closes for both pairs, right? So we're keeping an eye on both pairs. However, USD CAD, I don't see a smaller setup for a smaller time frame, but the larger setup would be the daily here, which would be the 1-on-1, 2-to-2, and then second to third touchdown here. But again, this could take some time to complete. We are not looking for those type of setups for the streams, but it's from time to time I will give you guys a heads up on the larger movement, as top-down analysis from higher time frame to the lower time frame analysis is important and sometimes critical in understanding which direction would be a higher likelihood of the range completing, right? So we have to always keep in mind the higher time frame analysis. Okay, so yeah, the 5-minute candle on G-Day, so the previous two 5-minute candles did not have a wick, but did fall right back into the range. And again, we could see a push down to the 2-hour EMA, which we label with the ray here. And it could tap that. This is also the current 2-hour candle. So we've seen a huge bearish 2-hour candle here. Almost 40 pips. The price is around the 1-hour EMA right now. Rejecting that, but just in that zone right now. Alrighty, so with the 30-minute candle opening, you guys can see that it opened with a large wick, right? And it's retracing in that same area, which is below the 1-hour EMA and above the 2-hour EMA. And again, we are in the current 2-hour candle. So the current candle is the 2-hour candle, or the 2-hour time frame, and still in this small zone here. So we do have the 15-minute time frame here. But nothing for us to take an entry right now. All right, so it's very, very tough right now to take an entry on such a move. We have USD coming back up here as well. But nothing solid from either pair. So again, the smaller time frames, we see a breakout of this range, but on the larger time frame, the current 2-hour candle, we do have a possibility that it can go right back into the range and we go for the buys, right? But to play safe, our buy stops are right, well above, right at the range. So 185 to 60 zone. And price is about 20, 22, 23 pips below our buy stops. So it'll be very interesting to see how the price closes here. Alrighty, okay, so we see a big push on USD CAD here, past the 15-minute EMA. Okay, so we see a big push. Alright, and we're looking at GJ again in this smaller range. It's about 13, 14, 15 pips. Let's draw this out right here. And we can anticipate that the price for GJ does come down here. And so what we're going to do is, because again it's approaching London session, we're going to look to see if we can take an entry at this zone now. So this range now can be a small range, as you can see that the price wicked below nearly to the 2-hour EMA. So it's a 13, 14 pip range. So we can look to enter, yeah, it's about 3 or 4 pips above the 2-hour EMA. So let's see if this can push down here, and we can have some buy stops here for the move up. Right, so we've seen price be bearish, possibly up to the point London opening. So we're going to look to have price coming down and take the buys here, right, which will also fill up these non-wick candles here. So it's going to be a ray here. So once price dips below, we're going to look for buys. Set that up. That would be 184. Let's keep it at 184, 970. So again, we're waiting for price to dip below our area. So we're looking for buy stops. So let me just put here, not active yet. Buy stops. Alrighty, so we got USD CAD rejecting the 15-minute EMA here, but nothing concrete in terms of a smaller time frame setup for USD CAD. But GJ, on the other hand, we could see it push down to the 2-hour EMA below our current drawn out range here. And once that occurs, we could activate, not activate, but we can set our buy stops for them to be activated once price reaches back into the range, right? So we're looking at price hitting off the 2-hour EMA and then coming back into the range. So that's our current viewpoint here. And we're just about to close the 50-minute candle in 2 minutes, which will be the last 50 minutes prior to London opening. Okay, so it is near the bottom of the range here. Okay, here we go. So price is below. We're waiting for it to tap the EMA here, which is seen right here, the 2-hour EMA. Nearly there. Did not set the buy stops because it did not tap the EMA, so still looking for the price to come down and tap the EMA. So whenever there's an EMA at the bottom or top of the range or above or below the range and it's within some pips, for me the better confluence that is that it taps it and then we go for the reversal, right? So we're going to be patient here. Now the next 50-minute candle is right around the corner, so just under a minute left. You could possibly see the 50-minute candle come down, tap the EMA, and we go ahead with the setting the buy stops. So here it comes the 50-minute candle. Let's see if we can see the 50-minute candle reverse here and get to the EMA. Again, we're going to have to be quick here to enter the buy stops for GJ once we get to the 184.930 zone. Again, it's not far off, just about 3.5, 4 pips off. Again, USD CAD is pushing up, but nothing tradable for USD CAD, at least for the shorter time frames. Here comes GJ again. Here we go. Again, since we are approaching London opening in less than 15 minutes, this does tend to become a higher risk trade. So I would level this a medium risk trade. But again, since it did not tap the EMA, buy stops are not in. But I would prefer to execute or enter the buy stops once it does tap the EMA. Now again, the 2-hour candle does close in less than 13 minutes. We could see a respect of this range, but non-executable because we are following our game plan of allowing the price to dip below the range because of the EMA that's below right here, right? So the 2-hour EMA, let the price reach there, and then we follow our game plan by setting buy stops and waiting for them to be activated. Now we are approaching London session, so again, this would be at your own risk. Again, this move can happen very fast. As you can see that it's merely 5 or 6 pips away from the point where we enter our buy stops. And again, that's only possible if it does indeed come back down, tap the EMA and go above. But if it does respect the range, as it has been doing, right? So 1 to 1. Let me use the pathway here. 1 to 1 touch, 2 and 2. And we anticipate the price reaching around this area, tapping the EMA and then going up for the second to third touch here. But again, nothing has been established. The price is still floating, right above the bottom end of the range. So let's just be patient here. Okay, another 5-minute candle here. The current candle, 5-minute candle, no wick. Certainly come back down and tap it. Again, we keep approaching closer and closer to London opening before we can see any development in our current setup. So the current 2-hour candle, as you can see here, could be rejecting all the way back up. And into our larger range that we drew up here. And could indeed end up pushing up here. So the good thing is, guys, that you guys can see how ranges are well respected, right? Even if we did not execute this, which I did not here, the ranges are clean, right? So once you guys get the hang of drawing out perfect ranges, remember the markets consolidate 70-80% of the time, but when you get these perfect ranges is when you need to, react and execute accordingly, right? So that's when you need to take action. Now you can see earlier we had this perfect range. Now we're in this perfect range. So, and these are just hours away, right? Prior to London opening, or prior to, even the pre-London hour, where I start my live streams, and into London opening, we see another range. So the idea is that, or the understanding is that this happens a lot, right? Markets repeat this over and over again. And I've caught, hundreds and hundreds of these moves over and over again with my two favorite pairs, USD CAD and GJ. So we can look to see that GJ will close out this touch here, which we had drawn out previously to it completing the move. Our better plan is, again, this current candle has no wick. So our better plan is that we have an EMA below the range. So let it come down, dip down, tap it, and then we can execute. But now we're only about 7 minutes away, 7 minutes shy of London opening. So the risk, of course, increases because we can get some, pick up a volume possibly against us. So we'll determine a few minutes prior if we still want to be a part of this trade setup, because we don't want to be faked out, right? So we may wait until London opening and see if it still respects the range, and if the range is still tradable. But for the time being, we don't have that set up yet, right? As price has gone above to the top end of the range, but we were looking for the price to react at this 2-hour EMA. That's why the ray has been drawn out, right? So the ray is slightly adjusted here, right here. And at the top here, I did draw another ray here to indicate that there's a non-wick candle, which price can fill up here. And even the current candle has no wick. So it'll be very, very interesting. So I'm just going to put it on the side here. Again, there was a trade a few weeks ago where we entered prior to London opening, and then they faked us out and then went the correct way. So we're going to wait out on this one. So if we did enter here, this trade would have pretty much won, but we want to play safer than that. Again, is the streams, I really want to be much safer. To show you guys, especially, if you guys are on the beginner level, in terms of your learning journey in the trading world, especially with Forex pairs, that being patient and playing safe will be better in the long term, right? Rather than being high risk and, entering at will and not looking at huge candle closures and huge, candle openings, especially with the London opening session now. So we're going to remove this for now, and we're going to wait out to see how London opening reacts with the price to see a potential entry. All right, so remove this for now, and you can see that it would have closed out the range perfectly to fill in the non-wick candle, which is right at the top of our range that was drawn out prior to this move, right? So just under 4 minutes for the London opening. that range, end up tapping, and would have been a nice, start here, but non-wick candle here doesn't give high certainty. All right, but again, we'll wait for 3 more minutes for London opening and see how the market moves. Again, if you guys are joining late here, our earlier setup was that GJ comes back with the 2-hour candle here, comes back into this range, and we could trade this to the upside here. Right, but still very shy of reaching that, right? 15, 16 pips. And we're looking to close out the candle in 2 minutes. So I don't anticipate that the price will get to the 185, 260 zone. All right, so another non-wick candle. You can see perfectly tapped it. Would have closed out this setup right before London opening, but we played it safer. There are non-wick candles. There is a 2-hour EMA below the price and below the range, and very close to the range, bottom end of the range. So we are going to be patient here. Let's go under 1 minute to London opening. It's right at the 1-hour EMA right now. The GJ. GJ. Right at the 1-hour EMA. Clean range. All right, here we go. London opening is coming right now. Seconds away. You can see the price here, right? Tapped wonderfully right at the top here. All right. Pushing down. CSD CAD pushing up. Can come down to tap the EMA here. Wonderfully respecting the range. So our EMA is just slightly up here now. TSD CAD coming up here as well. Oh, here GJ comes. Okay, did not tap the EMA. GJ buys at let's go at so again, we're waiting for the price to tap the EMA, and then we're going to go ahead and execute. TJ buy, so 180. Let's go 185. So just some breathing room here. Okay, here it is. The price is below 185. Okay, it's about to tap the EMA. So here we have the buy stops. See, price is about 5 or 6 pips below. So we're looking for 12 pips on a 1-to-1. Okay, here we are. Perfect. So you can see it tapped the EMA. We're looking for this tap for at least, the hour prior to London opening. Tapped in now. Looking to execute a 1-to-1 here with much more safety here. And price is coming back up here. See, our buy stops are about to be executed here. And it is 1-to-1. All right, we are in this trade now. It's active. Trade is active. Looking for a clean push here. Clean push. So 1-to-1, 1% risk. Look at that, guys. So 4 minutes to the close, but a clean 1-to-1 risk, 1% risk, 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, rejecting here. It's a small range. Still got 3 minutes for another 5-minute candle closure. I mean, the only other bias is that it hasn't finished its move down. But with the tap and the London opening, could see the pushback up. We got about 2.5 minutes left, or under 2 minutes, or yeah, right around 2 minutes for another 5-minute candle closure. This is the 5-minute chart here. Okay, came back right down to the 2-hour EMA. Okay, yeah, this is pushing down. So we had a small 12 pip stop loss here, hoping to complete the 1-to-1. Still got under 2 minutes left for the candle closure. Can we get that move? Here it comes. Again, not a large move here. Price is right around entry again. To USD CAD here. Alright, so just 1 minute left for the 5-minute candle closure. Let's see how that develops here. Again, we kept it a smaller stop loss and TP than most often, generally because of the 2-hour EMA, and we're working with a small range that's been respected. So that's why we kept it smaller this time. Typically, we will look at maybe 20 to 25 pips for 1-to-1 for GJ. But the trade is still active, and we're right around entry. Let's need a small push for this trade to complete. Here comes the new 5-minute candle. Still right around entry. All right, now we're into profit. Can we get that big push? Okay, we see USD CAD coming right up. Could we get that push for GJ so we can close out? Again, this is the new 5-minute candle. Just need a small push for this 1-to-1 risk to reward to complete and close out the 1%. Here it comes. Okay, here we are. Again, the main idea here, guys, is that you can see the range being respected, right? Coming back for its final touch. We do have an EMA above as well. So this would be a perfect close here. And with the potential tap of this 5-minute EMA. But this would be our 1% risk. And we would call it a night. Or call it a day. We are approaching the 50-minute candle closure. Just one more small push. And just under 2 minutes for the 50-minute candle closure. Let's see how this closes off. We're just a few pips shy. Maybe 2.5 pips shy. Just pushing, rejecting that. Can we get that big push to close out? Potentially even come up to the 5-minute EMA here. But we just need at least to close out to the top at 185, 120. And we call it a day, guys. Again, all done live for you guys. We will be here daily, an hour before London opening, and all done live again, right? So here it is. Just under a minute shy of the 50-minute candle closure. Can we get that push to close off and hit our TP? Here, there you go, guys. Look at that, guys. All done live. And perfectly closed out and even tapped the EMA. As mentioned. You guys seen it all live. This could even push up all the way through into our existing range here. Even the 50-minute EMA. But that is a closure. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Again, we can see GJ come up here in these zones in the existing range that it was in previously prior to London opening. But we closed out our range. We got our 1% and no need of over trading. If you're satisfied, you can exit and again either hold off until tomorrow or come back in New York session. But either way, I'll see you guys back tomorrow. We'll end the stream here. And, safe trading, guys. Take care.